Hi my dear students, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with one more important concept, that is coordination in plants. So I started posting the videos for class 10th NCERT syllabus. If you are new to my channel, do subscribe my channel because I will be helping you for your board examination preparations. Yes, so let me continue with the concept. So this is one of the most important concepts from the lesson control and coordination. See, in the previous videos, I explained about coordination in animals, how exactly the animals coordinate. If you have not yet watched the previous videos, links of those videos are given below in the description box, you can check out. Yes, as I'm talking about coordination in plants, how exactly plants coordinate, we need to understand. Firstly, I would like to explain about a word called coordination. See, the same thing I also had explained when I spoke about animals. See, whenever we talk about a concept without having basics, if we go forward, we may not have a clarity. So that is the reason once again I am brushing up with this word. Coordination is nothing but synchronization. Okay, synchronization between various parts. Whenever we say coordination in animals, it is nothing but synchronization of various parts of the animal's body. But as I am talking right now about plant, it is the synchronization of various parts of the plant body. How do plants synchronize? See, in case of animals, there was nervous system and also hormonal system for the coordination to take place. But do plant has nerves? Plant does not have any kind of nerves. They do not have nervous system. Only with the help of the chemicals, so-called hormones present in their body, plants show coordination. That is nothing but plant shows movement. Okay. So on the basis of the movements shown by the plants, the movements are classified into two types. I repeat once again, coordination in plants or movement in plants is broadly classified into two types. The first thing is the tropic movement and the second thing is the nastic movement. Let me explain you one by one in a very clear way. Whenever we say tropic movement, sometimes this tropic movement is also called as tropism. What is it called as? Tropism. So what is tropic movement? It is the movement shown by the plant in response to external stimulus. See, any changes that is happening around an organism, and that organism, if it is showing some kind of movement or any kind of changes, and that movement is called as tropic movement. In simple, I can say movement of plants with response to stimulus. Please note down this statement. Movement of plants with response to stimulus. External stimulus also you can write. Okay. I hope you all have remembered the meaning of the word called stimulus. What is stimulus? Stimulus is nothing but any change that is happening around an organism, and if the organism is responding for that change, that is called a stimulus. Right now you all are listening, and to the voice which you are listening, you are responding. That is the stimulus. In the same way, plant gets stimulus in varieties. Various way it gets. Maybe the stimulus, maybe the sunlight, or maybe the water. So I'm going to talk about this in detailed aspect. So let me first complete this. So what is tropic movement? Tropic movement is nothing but movement of plant with response to stimulus. And this stimulus is also directly supporting the growth of the plant. For example, if the stimulus is light, okay, what happens? The plant will grow towards the light. Hence, the tropic movement is also a growth-dependent movement. Tropic movement can also be called as growth-dependent movement. Why? Because to whatever the stimulus the plant is receiving, plant is responding for it. How the plant is responding? By showing the growth towards it. Okay, right. Sometimes this is also called as directional movement of the plant. That means from which direction the plant is receiving the stimulus, to that direction plant is growing. So hence it is directional. Is that clear? I hope I made this whole concept in a simplest way clear to you. Right. So whenever I talk about nastic movement, nastic movement is just a sudden movement or a quick response to the external stimulus that is received by a plant. For example, when we touch a touch-me-not plant, plant immediately respond for it. Correct? So that is called as nastic movement. Immediate response shown by the plant. Okay? And this response is never related to growth. That means when you touch the plant, plant is not showing any kind of growth. Is it clear? Plant is not showing any kind of growth. When you touch, it is responding, but that is not related to growth. Hence, it is called as growth independent. That means it is not related to growth. Okay? And it is also called as non-directional movement of the plant. Okay? So now, with respect to a small introduction that I have given to you right now, I would take a chance to explain each and every concept in detail. So firstly, please note down what is tropic movement. What is the definition of tropic movement? It's very important. So movement in plants, under that, firstly, I am explaining the definition of tropic movement. Okay, tropic movement. What is tropic movement? As I told you, directional movement. Okay, or we can write movement of plant in response to, please note, in response to external stimulus. In response to external stimulus. So I told you what is the meaning of stimulus. It is nothing but change which is shown in the environment. Okay, for which an organism is responding. That is called as stimulus. Children, you understood what is tropic movement clearly. So these tropic movements are of many types. Plant shows the different type of movements. Based on that, the tropic movements are further classified. Let me explain you. Okay, I hope you all have noted this. So I just take a chance to remove this statement, and let me now write the types of tropic movements shown by the plant. Types of tropic movements. Types of tropic movement. So it is also called as tropism. Okay, types of tropic movements, or we can also call it as tropism. The first type is phototropism. Phototropism. Okay. The second one is hydrotropism. Hydrotropism. And the third one is chemotropism. Chemotropism. The fourth one is Tigmotropism. Tigmotropism. And the last one is Geotropism. Geotropism. Okay. We can also call this as phototropic movement or phototropism. Let me now take a chance to explain this. Phototropism. Photo is nothing but light. I repeat, photo is nothing but light. Tropism is nothing but movement. So, movement of plants with response to light or in response to light. This is called as phototropism. I repeat, what is the meaning of photo? Photo is nothing but light. Tropism is nothing but movement. So, plants are showing the movement in response to light. This is called as phototropism. So, let me describe movement of plants in response to light. So this is called as phototropism. Children, what you need to understand here is, say some parts of the plant shows positive phototropism. Some parts of the plant shows negative phototropism. What do you mean by positive and negative? That means some parts of the plant are bending towards the light, but some parts are always away from the light. Say, take an example. Whenever we talk about a plant, see, plant, when we sow a seed, what happens? This seed will germinate. As a result of it, roots will develop and also shoot will develop. And one fine day, what happens? these roots also extend in the soil, and later this plant also will grow. The plant also will grow. Correct? The plant also will grow. So now, if okay, the sunlight is falling on the plant, if the sunlight is falling on the plant, tell me, see, if this is root part and this whole part is called as shoot part, tell me which part of the plant is bending towards the light, which part of the plant is focusing towards the light? Obviously it is shoot. Okay, the part of the plant which is towards the light and showing response towards the light, such part is always positively phototropic. Remember, such part is always positively phototropic. So shoot is an example. Please note, after writing this statement, write down, okay, positive. I think you all can see, okay, positive and negative. Positive and negative. So which part of the plant is showing positive phototropism, which is nothing but positive phototropism is nothing but which is towards the light. Which part is towards the light? Obviously it is shoot. So note down, shoot is showing positively phototropism. And look at the root. Roots are always inside the soil. It never grows towards the light. Correct now? That means it is away from the sunlight. So it is an example for negative phototropism. What is it? It is an example for negative phototropism. So it is not only important to understand what is phototropic movement, you must also know which part of the plant is responsible for positive phototropic movement, that means positive phototropism, and which is for negative tropic movement or negative tropism. So okay, understood now? Which is above the soil is towards the light. Shoot is positive and root is negative. I hope you are clear with this. So let me now explain the next. I think you all have copied down. You copied this, right? So now I am removing this once again. Let me go for the next now. So the next one we have here is hydrotropism. See, hydro is nothing but water. Tropism is nothing but again movement. Again, let me take a plant. So, you know, the plant has root and shoot. So, the part of the plant which is above the soil is called as shoot, and which is below the soil is called as root. Correct? So, hydrotropism. Hydro is nothing but water. Tropism is nothing but movement. Just you pour the water over the plant. Tell me which part of the plant is capable of absorbing the water. Is it shoot or root? Obviously, it is root. Correct now? How much amount of water you pour over the plant also, it is not the shoot which is going to absorb water. It is the root which is going to absorb the water. So, the positive hydrotropism or hydrotropic movement is shown by root, and negative hydrotropic movement is shown by the shoot. I hope you are clear. Which part of the plant is absorbing water, that is positive. And if there is more water in the underground, to which region the water is located, to that region the roots will develop. The root moves towards or in search of the location where the water is available in the underground. Okay, so it is always the root which is absorbing the water. It is always the root which is moving towards the water. So that is the reason roots are example for positive hydrotropism and shoot is an example for negative hydrotropism. Please note this point. So what is hydrotropism? It is again the same statement you will write. Movement of plant. So it is the movement of plants in response to water. This is called as hydrotropism or hydrotropic movement, and these are showing the positive and this part is showing the negative. I hope you are clear with this. Moving to next, we have chemotropism. Chemo is nothing but chemicals. Tropism is nothing but again movement. So how can we describe this? Movement of plants in response to chemicals. Movement of plants in response to chemicals. This is called as chemotropism. So whenever we talk about chemotropism, how can we describe chemotropism? Say for example, the same plant. Say for example, these plants' roots are in contact with the soil, if soil contain good amount of nutrients in it, good amount of chemicals in it, what happen? The plants move towards those chemicals. Why? Because plants also need minerals and nutrients from the soil, which is nothing but chemicals. In search of those chemicals, they move and they absorb it. Okay, but when the soil is rich in unwanted chemicals, if they are highly rich with the fertilizers, which is nothing but high amount of chemicals, plants may get damaged. The roots of the plants may get damaged. So during that time, what happens? Roots will grow away from those chemicals. So root shows both the movement. One is positive movement and also negative movement. Positive towards the good amount of chemicals. Negative towards the chemicals which is harmful for the plant. Okay, so root is an example for both positive as well as negative. Clear? So moving to next, we have Tigmotropism. Tigmo is nothing but touch. I hope you can write this statement. Very simple. Please copy down. Movement of plants in response to what? Chemicals. In response to, change the last word. It is chemicals. Okay. Tigmo is nothing but touch. Again, tropism is nothing but movement. That means plants are showing the movement in response to touch. So I would like to explain a bit more about this particular topic. So I'm just removing these answers. Okay, Tigmotropism. Tigmotropism. See, let me explain about Tigmotropism. Tigmotropism. That means movement of plants in response to what? Touch. Write down the answer. Movement of plants. Movement of plants in response to touch. In response to touch. Okay. See, we all have seen the creepers and also the climbers. Creepers are nothing but the plants which grow above the ground, horizontally. Like, strawberry or, pumpkin, okay, watermelon. They are all creepers. Climbers are those plants which have weak stem. They take support and they climb up. You all are familiar with money plant, pea plant, okay, all those plants. Let me now take an example of pea plant, okay, pea plant. See, now I just took a pea seed and kept inside the soil in a pot. What happened? The seeds start to germinate. As seeds start to germinate, what happened? The plant, as it is a climber, I also have to insert a supporting system where the plant can climb up. What happens is, this seed, the pea plant seed, as it germinate and develop into a plant, it takes the support of the the wood which I have been kept inside this pot, and it will start to grow. When it is started to grow, you might have seen in the climbers, you can see a part of the plant which is encircling in this way. What is this part called as? This part is called as tendril. What is it called as? Tendril. So what is tendril? Tendril is the soft and green part of the plant. What is tendril? Tendril is the soft and green part of the plant. And this tendril is sensitive to touch. That means whenever this tendril, see, as it come closer to this contact. When it come closer to this contact, what happens? It rapidly grow like this. It is sensitive to touch. That means when it come in contact with support, it show the rapid movement. It grow fastly. Okay. So what actually the plant is doing here, the part of the plant which is sensitive to touch, that is tendril, as it come in contact with the support, it is showing the rapid growth. Is that clear? It is showing the rapid growth. Okay. That means plant is showing response to touch. Plant is showing response to touch. When this tendril, the circle part is there, no, the tendril, when it comes close to this support, it grow fast. So we can say, when I talk about this particular point, you must know this concept. That is, the part of the tendril, see, this is a tendril, right? The part of the tendril which is away from the contact grow fastly. It grow fastly, or we can say rapidly. The part of the tendril which is away from the support, that grow fastly. But the part of the tendril which is in contact with the support, this does not show the rapid movement. So slow growth will be shown. Slow growth or rapid movement is not shown. I hope you got my point. Clear now? See, this is tendril. The soft and green part of the plant is called as tendril. This is sensitive to touch. As it come in contact with the touch, it will grow. Okay. Hence, we can say the part of the tendril which is away from the contact grow fastly compared to the part of the plant which is in contact. The part which is in contact do not grow rapidly. Okay. So this is all about what? Tigmotropism. I think I made this concept clear. And the last type of movement which I wanted to explain now is geotropism. Geotropism. So geo is nothing but gravity. Geo is nothing but gravity. Tropism is nothing but movement. That means movement of plants in response to gravity. Okay. Say, whenever we see a plant, which part of the plant is always towards the soil? Soil has gravity, correct? So which part of the plant is always towards the gravity? It is root, correct now? Roots are the part of the plant which is always focusing towards the soil, and the shoot always grow above the soil. Say for example, you have a plant in the pot, and in the pot, whatever the plant you have, even in the pot the roots grow towards the soil and the shoots grow above the soil. Without knowing or unknowingly, suppose if this pot fell down, okay, if this pot fell down, what would you observe? Even after it fell down and if it is kept as it is for several days, the shoot is always growing above the soil only. Root never come above the soil like this and grow. Why? Because it is always growing towards the gravity. Roots are always showing positive response towards the gravity. Is that clear? So here I can say an example for positive and negative. Which part of the plant is showing the positive geotropism? Positive geotropism is always shown by the roots. Why? Because the roots are positive to gravities. It always grows towards the soil. And when I talk about the shoot which is above the soil, it is always negative. It is showing negative geotropic movement. Okay. Why? Because it is never growing inside the soil. It is always growing above the soil. Okay. Opposite to the direction of gravity, the shoot is developing. Is that clear? So I think I made you very clear about each and every concept which I explained with respect to movement in plants, that is tropic movement in plants. Okay. So far I explained about what is tropic movement and the different types of tropic movements. And each type of tropic movement has its own importance. So do know about it and know about the positive and negative tropic movements as well. So now we are heading towards the next type of movement, that is nastic movement. Nastic movement. Nastic movement. So what do you mean by nastic movement? Nastic movement is nothing but a quick response shown by the plants. You all are familiar with the plant called as touch-me-not plant. What happens when we touch the touch-me-not plant? It immediately fold its leaves. So what is actually happening inside the touch-me-not plant? To fold its leaves. That is what we are going to understand under the nastic movement. So now let me write just a rough sketch of the leaves of the touch-me-not plant and understand how exactly the folding up of leaves takes place. See, what happens is when you touch the touch-me-not plant, when you touch the touch-me-not plant, immediately the leaf will fold. Why are these leaves folding? The moment you touch, what happens is this region of the plant, it is called as pulvinus. What is it called as? Pulvinus. Thus, this pulvinus region will flush some chemicals. It secrete or release some chemicals. and the chemicals released by the pulvinus will move towards the cells of the leaf. You know, the leaves is also made up of cells. Okay, chemicals released by the pulvinus go faster. So, I can say this fast movement as electrical impulse. Okay, so electrical, and what is this electrical impulses are carrying? It is carrying a chemical. So, with the help of electrochemical impulse from the pulvinus, the chemicals will move towards the cells of the leaf. As the chemicals move towards the cells of the leaf, the pressure increases over the cells of the leaf. I think I am clear. What is happening? You have touched the touch-me-not plant. This pulvinus region, during that time, it releases chemicals, and that chemical has travelled in the form of electrochemical impulse. As the chemical is moving towards the cells of the leaf, what happened? The chemical came towards the cells of the leaf and it increases the pressure over the leaf. So leaf is nothing but what? Cells of the leaf. Okay. So the pressure got increased over the cells of the leaf. So this pressure is called as turgor pressure. What is it called as? Turgor pressure. Okay. Due to the chemicals released by the pulvinus, turgor pressure increased over the cells of the leaf. As a result of it, what happened here is the water present in the cells of the leaf. The cells of the leaf has some water. As pressure increased over the cells, the water from the cells got lost. That means water from the cells came out. As a result of it, what happened? The cell which was huge in size, it got compressed. That means the cells got shrink. The cells got shrink. Due to the shrinkage of cells, the leaves of the touch-me-not plant got folded. See, just imagine so much things happened inside the leaf within a short period of time. The moment you touch, the leaf got folded. But before the leaf get folded, all these things keep happening inside the leaf. What is happening? The moment you touch-me-not plant, pulvinus region releases chemicals. These chemicals passed in the form of electrochemical signals. As a result of it, turgor pressure increased over the cells of the leaf. And this turgor pressure enabled the movement of water out of the cells, and the cells got shrink. And due to the shrinkage of cells, what happened? The leaves got folded. After some time, what happened? The water which is lost, that means that water came out of the cell, again will regain by the cell. The water will go back into the cell after some time. Again, the leaf which got folded will open back. It will open back. Is that clear? So this is what exactly happens in the touch-me-not plant. That is why the plant show the quick response. And the quick response shown by the plant is called as nastic movement. And if you want the notes for how exactly the nastic movement is taking place, do check the comment area. I will write the detailed explanation of the nastic movement in that comment area. You can note down in your notebook. Okay, so saying so much. So one more important concept, and the last concept is left out from the lesson, control and coordination. So I will complete that in the next video. Thank you so much.